Mike's Daily Podcast.
Somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The last place on earth. It's Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton. And Mike Matthews, hello, how are you? Are we friends? Well, I don't know, because you don't know me, I don't know you, but that's okay. It's a podcast and Mike sings at the beginning of it. He sings away. It's episode 2698.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
2698. The last podcast was called Civics, because I guess it was Civics Day.
Mike's
I know.
Daily
You're yawning.
Podcast.
Or, even the suggestion of yawning makes people yawn. It's weird. I'm fighting a yawn now. That's not good. I'm doing a podcast and people are yawning. No. Even the word yawn can make you yawn. I'm done. Unless you're a narcissist. Then apparently it has no effect on you. So maybe you've just discovered something about yourself. Okay, well, if you are listening to this on the 29th of October, well then thank you so much for doing that. I know it's been a busy week and you've got all kinds of ways and things to occupy your time and podcasts and whatnot. But it is a World Stroke Day, very important day to remember because, gosh, I've known quite a few people who've had strokes. The lifestyle, the food we consume in the U.S. is not really conducive to not getting strokes, it seems. We harden up our arteries, we clog them up with all kinds of the bad foods we eat. So, there are probably a myriad of suggestions to follow, like eating omega-3
And here's today's podcast picture.
acids in your avocados and your walnuts and your good fishes like the salmon. And the podcast picture is of the beautiful sunset there in the Hayward Hills. I took a picture of that. You can see it at mikesdailypodcast.com. 1 in 6 people were expected to have a stroke during their lifetime. Oh, the late great Basil the Boxer. He got me out walking to fight off strokes, get some cardiovascular. Isn't that like a vacuum up all the bad fats in your body?
Mike's Daily Podcast Master Pod Eater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Throughout the world, it is the second leading cause of death. And apparently, current statistics suggest that the possibility of getting a stroke has increased. Now, 1 in 4 people are likely to have one. It may cause paralysis, sensory disturbances, aphasia, and emotional disturbances. It's one of the leading causes of disability.
It's pretty interesting.
15 million people around the world have strokes each year. So, what do I do to combat it?
Mike's Scavenger Hunt.
Well, first know your risk of having a stroke.
Wow, wow.
You can go, your local insurance may pay for some kind of insurance, some kind of a lesson, a webinar, that kind of thing to tell you how to prevent strokes. You can prevent strokes by quitting smoking. Yes, smoking, a horrible habit.
News random.
It did horrible things to my mom. She thought all her life she'd be able to get by without, suffering any repercussions.
Ridiculous random posts.
Avoid the fast food. I'm throwing that in there. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure most fast food is pretty bad for your body.
Mike rips someone a new one.
And reducing hypertension as well. Learn the early signs of stroke and how to respond. And there is a lot of interesting things about that, because I was listening to one doctor saying that you could have had a stroke and not known it. And that's, I'm not a doctor. I can't go into that specifically, but they do say the fast things. The FAST acronym helps you to remember what to do. If you or a loved one is having any of these symptoms, it's important to act fast, and the F would stand for facial weakness. A stands for arm weakness. S speaks for speech difficulty. And T stands for time loss, is brain loss. So call 911 when these symptoms are present. Don't mess around. Call 911.
Blood and loco.
And then there's also the symptoms may indicate a transient ischemic attack, or a TIA. Even if symptoms disappear, it's important to receive medical attention right away, despite... Yeah, some people go, oh, it went away, I don't have to worry about it, but no.
Matthew's News.
Everybody make some noise! Woo! Bringing to you, live from Podcaster Valleymont, Mike's Daily Podcast!
Mike's absolutely useless review.
That is also, it's National Cat Day. And I posted a podcast picture of Patches the cat. We thought we lost him. We are so glad he is back. The cat came back. He didn't go away. He was sitting in the patio the very next day. And we were so happy about that. If you're listening to this on the 30th, by the way, it's National Candy Corn Day. Not my favorite food. And it's also Wicked Day, as in the musical Wicked. And then, of course, Halloween is coming up on the 31st. Looking forward to that. All right. So we are also... we missed National Pumpkin Day. That was on the 26th. Oh, I love pumpkins. I've got, there are these pumpkin sculptures I have in my house. I have them up all year. I don't even bother taking them down after Halloween.
The Mike Tip.
Perhaps you heard about this. If not, I may be the first to report this to you. This is kind of local news, but maybe it made the national news. Over 15,000 protesters shut down the San Francisco Central Freeway in demanding a ceasefire in the Israeli war on Gaza. This is a press release that was sent to me from ArabOrganizing.org. So they are very much about stopping Israel attacking the Gaza Strip. And they send me emails whenever they have some kind of big demonstration like they did today and have had the past couple of weeks. And Xfinity, as we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton, the last place on earth, Xfinity has let me know there is public hearings in Rulemaking 2302016. What's that? It regards the Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program, otherwise known as BEAD.
The Micropedia Insanika.
They are remote, these public hearings, and I guess it's happening November 8th at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. I am guessing that's local time in the Bay Area, but I don't know. It could be Eastern time, I'm not sure. Or Central, or Mountain, or Hawaiian, I don't know. But the California Public Utilities Commission wants to hear from you. Virtual public hearing, this would be California then, wouldn't it? Virtual public hearings have been scheduled to hear your comments, concerns, and opinions regarding the Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program, a new broadband grant program funded with federal money and administered by the California Public Utilities Commission. Your participation by providing comments can help inform the rules. So I can participate if I watch the live stream.
What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the
So
week?
that is what's happening there. I maybe want to check that out and find out what they're going to try and pull, those broadband providers because I need my broadband, as do you, in order to listen to podcasts such as this.
What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week?
The culture around tailgating is only getting bigger and better, and fans taking over car parks across the country. Betway did a study and found that the teams less likely to party in the NFL, and they did this based on factors such as stadium opening hours and the cost of tailgating essentials to reveal which fans are least likely to party because they can't get their tailgate essentials. And so the Los Angeles Chargers are at the top of the list at SoFi Stadium. They include the hours that open before the event, ticket prices for parking, which I can understand. LA has probably got one of the highest prices.
The Newsbleed section.
Burgers, soft drinks, alcohol, etc. And charcoal, the price of charcoal.
Which is a very good thing.
The most likely to tailgate?
Which is a very, very good
Dallas
thing.
Cowboys at AT&T Stadium.
That's a nightmare of a show.
They were but the Las Vegas Raiders come in at number 3, the most likely. Number 2 is the Green Bay Packers. That makes sense. Fascinating. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, it's in the last place on earth. Look who's here. Hello, Mike Matthews and Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. Wow, that podcast picture has a beautiful sunset, Mike Matthews. Yes, in the Bay Area, this time of year, the sunsets are incredible. We have the most beautiful atmosphere. It's the overcast skies aren't so much. So the skies do these crazy, the illuminations, the light, the spectrum is fantastic. I know, Mike Matthews. That's why I made a snow globe in honor of that. Here you go, Mike Matthews. Another snow globe. I have so many snow globes now. Wow. This one looks great. I will put this in my house. Everything I have in my house now is a snow globe. Thanks to you, Chely Shoehart, including my bed. It's a snow globe bed. And I hate sleeping on snow globes. But thank you. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. All of that was fascinating. And yes, there's quite a fascinating spectrum in the sky in the Bay Area, Mike Matthews. And it's getting colder. Oh, getting much colder. I'm still in shorts because I'm defiant that way here at Café Anyway. But yeah, it's getting colder. All right. You know what? Usually, right about now, we do this thing at least once a week called the Let's Go Back with Matthews segment.
Let's go back with Matthews.
Mike, it's Mikey Fikey. Great.
Yes. Thank you for participating in tonight's program, or today's, or this morning's program, whenever you're listening to this program. Oh, before I get into that, though, Matthew Perry, the news just came out less than an hour ago that he passed. It was an apparent drowning, and you probably know all about it by now. That he was found in a jacuzzi, and there was no drugs found at the scene, which is interesting because he was known for having a problem with drugs, and his weight would seesaw back and forth when he was on Friends. If you did, as I did, binge watch quite a few Friends episodes, and I did that before it was streaming. The only way you used to be able to watch Friends was if you had Netflix, they would send you the DVD. But yeah, that was one thing. We all knew Matthew Perry had his demons he fought. TMZ was told that there was no foul play involved, and it was at a Los Angeles area home, is what it says right at this moment. He attended elementary school with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, interestingly enough, and he was just a few years younger than me. He was raised in Ottawa, Canada, but born in Williamstown, Massachusetts. And dang, what a huge show he was on. Later, the shows he was on, not so... But he always seemed like a funny guy. Like if he was in a good mood and he was being in his improvisational type self, he could be pretty funny. Like I remember back when he was on The Daily Show with, I think, Jon Stewart, and the two of them played back and forth. It was funny. And Taylor Swift's 1989 Taylor's version is off to a big start. After its first day of release, sold over 250,000 copies. That's quite amazing, like in one day. It is her fourth re-recorded album. And I'm sure it's going to sell far, far more by the time you listen to this. All right, let's do the thing. So back in the thing called Let's Go Back with Matthews, let's go back about 30 years ago. I was on a radio station. I think Friends was still on the air. I was on a radio station in Ventura County, and it was called K-Hey. And I was doing the country DJ thing. I was on that station for 11 years. And I used to do a thing called the Santa Fe Cafe. And a lot of people would call in, because this is back just 20 years ago. Did I say 30? I meant 20. 20 years ago. There still wasn't a way to instantly get songs played on demand. Now you jump on Spotify, which is the most used app for music and podcasts. And I'm on Spotify too, if you want to listen to the podcast on there. But people just, oh, okay, I want to listen to that song. And they look it up on Spotify or YouTube. And that's how it is now. So people don't really call radio stations anymore to request songs. They may call radio stations to vent about things going on in the world, or to go, hey, there's a bad traffic accident somewhere. But no, not so much requesting songs. But if you would like to call me, my number is 510-228-4640. But here is back in the day when people were calling radio stations to make requests, and country music was quite big, with the Toby Keith, Faith Hill, Dixie Chicks, Garth Brooks, Tim McGraw. And here's a little bit of that show. I like to play some of these, go back in time 20 years and listen to some of these. And it's a type of radio you don't hear too much of these days. But let's listen, shall we?
You are simply amazing. Lone Star. Had a Lone Star. We heard Faith Hill's new one, Cry. It is Matt Michaels at the K Santa Fe Cafe. And, ooh, yes, I think we should venture into the nether regions of the cafe to see Madame Rutabaga. Thank you, Master. I feel so emotional that people are welcoming me with the happy clapping noise. Master.
I know it's KA, 100.7, the best radio country station in the state of California, Ventura County, anyhow.
Who is that man? I think that I must ask him out on a date because I'm lonely. Okay. Or you could do it for me. No. Okay.
Do you know where you're going?
The new one from Michael Peterson, Modern Man. Trisha Yearwood, There Goes My Baby. Ahead of that, Matt Michaels, Put a Ravola on a Friday and a whole darn week. Number one on the top 8 at 8. Cry by Faith Hill. Tonight in the KH 9 o'clock preview room, it was the Friday night fights and the preview champ of the week ending Friday, September 20th, year 2002. Terry Clark's new one called I Just Wanna Be Mad. Monday night in the 9 o'clock preview room, the new one from Gary Allen. And after that, the KH Santa Fe Cafe. The KH Cafe question will be, since it will be the first day of fall, will be, what is your favorite thing about fall? After midnight next with Whitney Allen, give her a call, 1-800-722-NITE. I will be back tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock with a look back on all the stuff that happened this week on the KH Weekend Review. And then I'll also be back Sunday morning from 6 to 8 with the KH Looking Back Breakfast. And at 10 o'clock Sunday night with the KH Santa Fe Cafe Review. Here's Felix the Bus Driver. Felix!
Next stop, the KHAY studios.
Matt Michaels has left the building.
Conversation like a television set on honeymoon. Unnecessary. I know it's KA, 100.7, the best radio country station in the state of California, or Ventura County, anyhow.
KHAY presents the country.
and his new one, I Am Not Breaking. It is 100.7 KHAY. I'm at Michael's at the Café Santa Fe Cafe. The Café Cafe question, what do you like most about fall? Chely Shoehart?
Hey, Michael, what I like most about fall is buying clothes for back to school.
No.
Yeah, Michael. And I like to, buy a lot of sweaters and little gloves and little things for my head, little hats.
Okay.
Hey, Michael, it's so cool and wonderful.
What?
I don't know. Chely, whenever I shopped for school, I just couldn't. All that pressure, I would just blow it. Alabama, she and I, okay? It's Garth Brooks, Thicker Than Blood. She and I, Alabama, just before that. Gary Allen on the way. We'll also...
Wow, Chely, you almost sound exactly the same.
Mike Matthews, there's some differences in how I sounded back then, Mike Matthews.
Yeah.
What's
496-1834. That's 496-1834.
Wow, I'm not sure what that was, but that was interesting. Oh, that was me. Oh, wow, 30 years ago, I worked at a station called KNJO and KMDY, which standard for comedy. It was comedy radio, and we would play these cuts from the Steve Martin, Monty Python, Richard Pryor, and others. Hey, before we get to that, though, one little bit, let's continue.
We'll hear from Travis Tritt, Sarah Evans, Montgomery Gentry coming up, too, and it's 11:30. That means the Country Quiz! At 10:30 and 11:30 Monday through Friday, it's the KHAY Country Quiz. If you'd like to play the KHAY Country Quiz, call now at 650-KHAY. We'll pick a contestant to play the KHAY Country Quiz, and you could win Brooks and Dunn's latest CD, Steers and Stripes. It's got Ain't Nothing About You, Only in America, My Heart Is Lost to You, The Long Goodbye, and their latest called Every River. 650-KHAY.
Lexus of Thousand Oaks. Fall is the time.
We got Miranda on her cell phone. Miranda, let's look at the quiz wall and pick a topic from our 3-panel. Panel 1 says Eric Heatherly's Feathered Tree. Panel 2 says Terry Clark's Bark. And panel 3 says Steve Azar's Quasar.
Steve Azar.
Steve Azar's Quasar. Miranda, Steve Azar experienced some failure in the 90s when A, none of his songs cracked the top 10, B, his record label folded, C, all of the above.
All the above.
All of the above?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are absolutely correct. You got the Brooks and Dunn CD.
Yeah. I got Brooks and Dunn.
Shopping for your workflows. Whether you build houses, fix roads, or
Brooks and
Tread
Dunn.
on 100.7 KHAY. Maybe some of you listening right now are some of the ones I gave tickets to go see him on the best damn sports show in America on Fox. He was on there today doing a special taping, and we sent some people to that. And right ahead of Travis Tritt, it was Sarah Evans. It's 100.7 KHAY. We get you back to the country faster, and we got Montgomery Gentry on the way, Gary Allen. What do you like most about the fall? Hickey House.
What I like about the fall is that I don't get chased by so many cats. Because, they're,
Aha! See, you don't know. You can't finish that thought, can you?
because I usually shoot all the cats with my machine gun.
What?
You're an evil man, Hickey House.
No, actually, I'm quite lovable. Play that music again. Ah, slamming. Goodbye.
Interesting thing.
Wow. That sounded like someone I had heard of before. And now back to 30 years ago? Yes. Now we go back to 1992, 93, that general area.
On the bus. Mike Matthews on a Saturday afternoon. It may rain some more. Oh, it definitely is going to rain some more, and we may have some flooding. If you need to get a hold of some sandbags, there's a couple places to go, including, I guess you can hit all of your local fire stations for that, pick up supplies, and also building supply stores like the Newton Building Materials, that's in Saticoy, and United Building Materials in Camarillo.
Smart rental property.
Wow, that was in Ventura County on a station called The Bus 96.7, and it wasn't till last year or early this year that I finally did have to stop at a fire station to get sandbags because it was flooding like crazy in Podcaster Valley.
More than oldies, the bus 96.7 and Mike Matthews on a Saturday afternoon with you. I know this is a stretch, being that it's like 56 degrees outside right now, but pretend that it's in the summertime, okay? With Mungo and Jerry. Mungo, Jerry on the bus. 96.7. Oh, yeah.
In the summertime, when you sing along with us,
You happy. More than oldies of us, 96.7. Mungo Jerry in the summertime. No, it ain't, but we can pretend, can't we? Mike Matthews here, and it's time for the pet of the week. You know, the Wharf in Ventura County is offering an 8-pound bag of Iams dog food or cat food if someone adopts a pet from the Ventura County Humane Society and mentions the bus. 96.7. Hello, this is Cole, right?
Hello.
How you doing, Cole?
Oh, doing fine.
And what pets have we for this week?
Well, we have a boxer mix.
What?
She's a gold coloring. She's a spayed female, 5.5, and her name is Marbles. She is housebroken, good with children, cats, and does get along with other dogs.
Aw, I hope Marbles found a good home 30 years ago. Aw, boxers are awesome. Okay, boxer mixes. And then let's go a little bit earlier, a couple years before that. Just as the 90s were starting, I was at a radio station in Santa Barbara. I've told some interesting stories about this station, and it was called Y97. And here's a little bit of that station in 1991, I think.
So since I was stopped right in front of T.O. Meat...
I just said, I think. What?
97.97. Janet Jackson now on Most Music, Y97. Y97?
Cheers, no question.
You like Cheers, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And what's your name?
Brian, I'm working at Nautilus.
Oh, down there you're pumping weights and everything?
Yeah, just working. Actually, I worked out too while I was working, but yeah, I'm just relaxing now. It's pretty boring, so.
Okay, so you thought you'd give us a call. Yeah. And, there's always a place where everybody knows your name, Brian.
Yeah?
And that's Cheers.
No, that's for sure.
What's your favorite radio station?
You guys, Y97.
That's right. That was back when the Emmys were going on.
Most Music 197 and Mike Matthews taking off now. Up next is Future Hits at 7 p.m. Hang in with Hollywood after that at 8 o'clock. Dr. Mento at 10. And Space Pirate Radio at midnight. Have yourself a great Sunday, and I'll see you when next our roads connect. Till then, here's a new one from The Fix. No One Has to Cry on Most Music 197. Bye-bye.
Oh my gosh!
The bottom of the chart.
Pretty good songs that never made it on the radio because people didn't think they were worth it. But you know what? They come back up and people start playing them, and it's like, oh, where'd that come from?
I love that song from The Fix, and I think I've played that before, but that's that. Well, I thought I still got a bunch of cassettes I got to go through. There was a station I worked for called KKUR, as in your station. And I've also done things for a local station in the Bay Area called KKIQ. So basically they sound a lot alike. And they did sound a lot alike. They have similar formats. But yes, I'll get some of those cassettes and do that. Another Let's Go Back with Matthews. And if you'd like to chime in about anything we covered today, chime away by calling this number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Will you shut ups? Liberty Nation Freedom Foam for All.
And with more ways to reach me, it's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!